Mm-hmm.
Bring down the card. This one. Okay, and I want to move that little title placard over here. Okay, you know what?
Hmm.
You guys are live and ready to go. Go ahead, take it away.
Hi, good morning. This is August 14th, 2022. I'm Jenna Littlejohn. This is
Daveea Whitmire, President, CEO of Third Parent Family and Youth Services.
Yes, and we're going to be talking to you today about that. This is SF Lives. It's a sort of a talk series that we do here at Beckett in San Francisco. It's normally hosted by Denise Sullivan. She's out for the day, and I'm covering for her. And yeah, it's a series where we talk to people who are local here that are doing either community work, or they're artists, educators, things of that nature. So forgive me, this is my first time, but we've both been here before, so
Definitely.
yes, it should work out. And we're just going to talk about the work that Daveea does as the founder of Third Parent. So I would jump right in. And I think a good question would be, tell us maybe about yourself and, your relationship to the city, maybe.
Definitely. I was born and raised in San Francisco. I went to elementary, junior high, and high school, also college out here. So I am I'm very dedicated to my city, and I have a deep roots out here.
Wow.
Definitely.
Okay, so yeah, I didn't realize that. Okay. So completely San Francisco based.
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow. What high school do you go to?
I went to McAteer High School.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's now Soda. They call it Soda now.
That's right over here.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
The
Oh,
44.
okay. I didn't know it was called that before.
Definitely.
Amazing. Okay, so you have a pretty serious relationship to this area.
Boys and Girls Clubs, all kind of little programs, community programs, part of all of that.
Okay, and so how did you, growing up, were you always thinking that this kind of community work, helping people, was something you were going to be doing as an adult?
I wouldn't say I necessarily knew that I was going to be doing it, but I always remember being a part of it. It always stuck with me. Just different programs and information.
Yeah.
I started off in the Bayview, like from all the way till I was 12. So Oakdale is where I spent most of my beginning of my childhood. And then when I was 12, I moved to the Haight-Ashbury with my grandfather at my grandfather's house. And his house was a church, and then he had a house, apartments on top of it. So my family, we had that. And
wow. I'm sorry. I'm just thinking because, this is very local because Third Parent does work in Haight-Ashbury where you once lived. You went to school right down the street from Beckett over here. So, not realizing that, and this is very cool.
Definitely. I could have went anywhere and kind of, tried to do it. But when I thought about doing my own thing, I had to bring it to my neighborhood.
Yeah.
I had to bring it to San Francisco.
That's great. So growing up here, what were you noticing, or were you noticing things as you were growing up here that you were like, well, that's kind of needs help, parts of the city you thought that were kind of.
Well, I noticed a lot of pride. I noticed a lot of community activities. It was a lot of kids playing outside. You had football games in the middle of the street, water fights, things like that. It was very youthful growing up and community based, a little bit more. Yeah.
And I mean, does it feel that way now?
It's getting there a little bit more, but it's not. It's getting there. It's different.
It's different. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, I can't really speak to that. I just moved here in
Definitely.
like 2010 or whatever. But I noticed it didn't seem that it didn't seem when I moved here, or even as much now, that it was that, you know, close or whatever. I didn't know my neighbors living here really. You know, there wasn't a lot of hanging out.
Yeah.
You know.
Haight-Ashbury, it was a lot of African American families over there. A lot more.
Is this like in the 90s or
Early 2000s,
Early 2000s.
late 90s. Well, I moved over there 99, 90,
Oh wow.
97.
Interesting
97.
time.
Yeah,
Because like the tech is coming up at that point in time,
Yeah.
but not super big.
definitely. Families are moving to the East Bay, selling their houses, moving to the East Bay.
So a lot of changes
Yeah.
during that time.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got your background. What's my next question? Okay, so what were you interested in, if not community work, when you were younger? You know, like where was your head at? Just out of curiosity.
Just basketball,
Uh-huh.
sports, hanging out. You know, it was a program. It was a program at Third Baptist.
Mm-hmm.
That how they brought me in. One of my friends in the neighborhood when I first moved to Haight-Ashbury, one of the first people I met, he told me about a program at Third Baptist. He was like, "Man, they got food, they got a basketball court, and then
sounds
it's kind of fun, man. You should try it." So I went there, and it was food, it was basketball, and it was Reverend Brown, who was like a mentor, grandfather type to me. And he pulled me in, and that right there sparked my I can say helped spark Third Parent.
Yeah.
You know, being a part of that program specifically.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds pretty amazing. Actually, Eric and I were talking about that earlier, where I noticed when I was younger, more stuff like that was like available. It was kind of laid back, come anytime, and, you know, your interests were met. Basketball, having a meal, blah, 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 and then that's cool that stuck with you.
I mean, but we had the political side too. Like I met Camilla Harris there. She came and spoke when she was becoming the DA, and the old DA there.
Wow.
And Reverend Brown is actually one of 10 of Martin Luther King students.
Oh my gosh.
He went to
That's
Morehouse,
amazing.
everything. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, okay, wow. So some interesting roots are developing here. Okay, so maybe then after high school, did you what kind of classes were you taking in college? Were they social service sort of aligned type of things?
So my college came later down.
Oh, okay.
But what I took at City College was community health work.
Oh, okay.
And then I took post-prison, and I got certified in that, and youth advocate.
Okay, so what is that post prison, like helping people come back into
Society. Yeah, just connecting them with resources, learning how to case manage them, learning some of their needs, some of their needs, some of their barriers, and just helping break those.
What kind of barriers? I mean, I think we can all guess and know, but what did you learn about that?
Housing is important. Having a trade is important.
Yeah. Being able to come back, work, and like have, steady work, because sometimes it seems like, with Third Parent, I remember when I first got on, there was, wanting people to have their driver's license. It seems like something that we might neglect or take for granted, but you need to have one, especially for certain jobs now. So
exactly, and having no service visible. Some people are too proud to are too proud sometimes, but when they're visible and
that's helpful.
Available is better.
Yeah. Okay. So then we'll really talk about a Third Parent. So how did that come to be? Was that something that you were thinking about for a while? Was it a quick idea to meet a need, or how did that start?
So it all started at Friday Night Live, Third Baptist program.
Oh wow!
So like I said, that program was live. Like we used to go to, we went to Texas. They sent us. It was all kind of programs there. And when I came back, it wasn't the same. It was like, it was kind of dead, I want to say. So
What do you mean? What was?
The program.
Oh,
it
okay.
wasn't lively. It didn't really have a lot of structure. It wasn't like the political part of it.
Things were lacking, and you're noticing it. It's too bad.
It was different. It was different. And yeah, it was different. So I came there, and you know, I just was like a fly on the wall and had a few suggestions, like it used to be like, and I ended up becoming the director of it.
Oh,
And
wow.
I ended up bringing Whitney along. And we ended up just revamping that whole program with plays. We had Christmas plays.
Okay, so theater stuff. Yeah,
we had summer school program called Freedom School.
Oh,
and
cool.
we turned that around.
Wow, I had no idea. This is amazing.
Definitely, we turned that around, and then you know, it was a ceiling. It was like, okay, well, you guys are only gonna be here, you know.
Right.
Not in a bad way, but
No.
you know, we had more ideas and we wanted to grow, and we couldn't do that under that
umbrella. Yeah.
So we had to. It was time for us to move on. So I'm like, what's next? And man, I go to college. You know, I was feeling that good. So I went to college, and I did community health work. Kind of, you know, stuck to me, and I got real interested in that, and it was kind of aligned with what I was trying to do. I did that. I did that for almost a year and a half, and I got certified in community health work, post-prison, and youth advocacy.
All perfectly aligned for what you're trying to do with Third Parent. So you went to school, and then Third Parent came to be because this other program that you and Whitney, who is also a co-founder, and your partner, you guys both decided, okay, we're gonna make our own thing because we have more to do, and we want to help more in these different kind of ways. What were you like? What was the main focus of starting that? Like the youth help, or like, you know, I know we have a food pantry. You have a food pantry now, but what was the driving need to fill?
So after I went to college, I got a job offer. They were looking for an African American male as a case manager at a HIV testing facility. It was called CalPEP.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So I did that. They had a program called the Future Program, and it was youth. It was youth based, and we did HIV counseling, but we also did case management. We helped them in life, in different parts of life, and that really kind of I got a ceiling on that. I turned that around, and I brought a lot of people in, and then you know I brought a lot of ideas to the program, and then it was time for me to move on.
Okay,
and then that's where Third Parent, the name came from college, but that's where it was like, I'm done working for other people.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm fit to do my own thing.
Yes.
I can do it better, you know, if I'm doing it, because I'm building up these programs.
Yeah.
So.
And so much experience, obviously.
Definitely.
I mean, a lot. I mean, you had said you were talking about the Third Baptist, and that you hit a ceiling there, and then here comes another thing that you had worked on, and then that came to a point. So you had a lot of background before starting this.
Definitely, but the road was always fun. You know, just the start, being able to become a director at Third Baptist and turning around. That experience is like, man.
Yeah.
And even at CalPEP, that experience, it was great.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so you and Whitney, what is this? This is like December 2020. Okay, and you start Third Parent.
Definitely.
How did that conversation go? You're like, we're going to start a nonprofit today.
Pretty much. Yeah. I'm like, you know, she was teaching, and I was doing that, but I you know, I stopped in the middle of that. She was still teaching, and I told her that this is what I wanted to do.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, at first she was like, okay. And
Yeah.
then she kind of seen the seriousness in me. She seen me just starting it. And she ended up just becoming a major part of it.
Major. I mean, both of you are
Definitely.
really at the head of this, working a lot together.
When she got involved, it kind of just,
Yeah.
definitely.
Okay, so it's December, it's 2020. And so but you guys started this, it was right before the pandemic, right? Started?
Yeah, so 2020.
So it was a wrench in the
2019.
plans.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2019. Yeah, we was focused. We got our EIN number. We got our EIN number.
Mm-hmm.
We was ready to go. We started hitting a lot of nonprofits and just start getting our name out. Started doing our marketing.
Yeah.
We're gonna have this driver's license program. And,
Yeah, that's what I really remember. That was like the first thing.
The resources and all that type of stuff. And then the pandemic hit, and it was like, y'all can't do that.
Yeah, it seemed like it was a big issue.
Yeah.
Not only for you, but for everyone. So that was probably really difficult.
The networking part, we was on a roll with the networking.
Yeah.
And, it slowed us down.
So because of the pandemic, though, it seems to me, because I remember, I think a lot of us, Isabella and myself, we heard about you really pretty immediately after you began the project. But you had to change things pretty fast, right? So it went from really the priority being this all-encompassing case management work to like, we got to feed people because things are closed down, people can't get food. So, that was a pretty quick shift.
It was the stars was aligned perfectly because like I said, the pandemic hit and we had to shut that down, and Whitney got an email from I forgot who emailed her, but Trader Joe's was looking for a black organization to partner with to get food to. And
perfect.
That's how she's like, she came up with that idea. She was like, man, let's do this, let's do the food pantry, or let's do this food. I'm like, okay, all right. And then we got the U-Haul and everything
worked out. But that seemed like the biggest, you needed that.
Exactly. But the unique part of it, the best part of it was that we didn't know where we were going to set up the food. We didn't know what we were going to do with the food. We just knew we had a bunch of food and that people needed food.
Right.
And
so then you had to really figure out this puzzle. Like, okay, we've got food. This is awesome. Now what?
Exactly. And it's good food. And it's Trader Joe's. Food. Like so. We got Auntie and we got a few other people and
local volunteers.
Local volunteers.
Yes, and people. Auntie's on Haight Street, right? So yes, and so you guys started on not Haight Street,
in front of her house,
Ashbury, right? Yeah. So that was really great. I mean, so the amazing thing I think about Third Parent is how it's extremely local and it's extremely driven by people who are right next to you.
Exactly.
So you grew up around the Haight-Ashbury area. One of your volunteers lives there, and boom, you have a site in front of her for her home to distribute.
Yeah, but even more unique about it was when we set up right there. We just start setting up Trader Joe boxes, and people like Isabella and Todd and his family just came out and started helping, and it was the community that built it.
They're just seeing what's going on and they're jumping in.
Yeah.
Which I think is very true nature to the Bay Area in general. People really see and they want to help.
Some people don't. Some people going to walk by you or don't have the time or have the compassion. But for my community where I came from, to come around a good cause like that, it meant something to me. Yeah,
it's very meaningful. And you can see it, if you're ever around, Saturdays you start at 10, right? Or 10:30? 10:30. 10:30. Yeah, you can really see that. And it's an amazing thing because everybody is like You know, I've talked to some volunteers there. A lot of them are like new coming into the city or have been living there. And they're like, you know, I just wanted to do something. I walked by. Everybody here distributing food is so nice. And, you know, it's really amazing how your volunteer base developed pretty quick.
Definitely. We have now 400 volunteers.
Wow.
Starting from 4
to 400.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a 200% increase or something. Yeah,
Something
that's
like
pretty,
that.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow. And so I think that's probably really attributed to like, you know, right? What do you attribute that to? Like, just word of mouth, people walking by, people telling their friends. Like, how do you think it's gotten so built up?
First, you know, I'm spiritual, so you know, my higher being first.
Oh yeah.
It was meant, but I think it was just it's just it's the community.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of us don't know each other, or a lot of us seen each other throughout, and this has just brought together a lot of people, a lot of us. It's community. I am because we are. So,
absolutely.
Definitely.
But any specific things you think are working in your favor as far as like getting your name out there? And then, you know, that's a lot of volunteers. You know, that's pretty impressive. And there are a lot of good communities that don't bring out that many volunteers. So anything specifically you think?
We work with well, the community incubated us, and now we work with a few other volunteer organizations.
That's great.
That give us volunteers. Things like that.
Yeah. And do you think like also maybe the way that it's set up? So what we're talking about is the food pantry that's every Saturday. And I think the way it's set up is also a testament to why so many people are interested. There's often music. You've had KJ has come and played some jazz.
Focus.
Plays his saxophone, and it's amazing. I think the way you have it set up is fun.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's very youthful. It's live. You know, it's volunteer driven.
Yeah.
Client centered.
Yeah, and it is youthful, but then again, you know, people of all ages, which I also really like about that too, because it's nice to, you know, you're sitting there bagging food, and then you're just talking to everyone, and you're getting a good sense of where everyone's coming from, and it just feels connected and nice.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's like my highlight of the week. Yeah. That's my favorite day of the week, for sure.
Nice.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Very good. And so, let's see, let me think what I got next. Well, and you have 2 kids, which is an interesting aspect of this too, because I remember, so funny, like, so, when was your first child was born right when this was beginning?
Right in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us, how was that for you?
It was a testimony to you know how we just you know keep it going,
keep it
man.
moving,
no
it
worries.
moving. You're coming with us.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you know it was it was fun. It was different, but it was fun. He's been a part of community from day one. So.
Yeah, and it's amazing, you know, walking around, waddling around. I remember, like, you know, I carried him a couple times, and then he started walking, and then it was like, okay, now we're like chasing him around. He's putting stuff in bags. It's really great. I mean, that's how you got to live your life, you know, just because, you know, we have like children or, you know, other commitments or whatever, bring them with you. You know, we can all make this cohesive.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So I admire that.
Thank you. Thank you. It was fun.
No. Makes me think that, you know, it's possible.
Yeah, anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
That's right.
So that's amazing. So what's going on with you guys right now? So we still have the food pantry. It's every Saturday. Are you able to provide some other services outside of that, or could you tell people more about maybe a day in the life? Like, what's the food pantry life, start to finish?
The food pantry life, start to finish. So on Saturday, I wake up maybe about 5 o'clock, and I rent the U-Haul, and after I rent the U-Haul we go to I go to our first pickup, which
Okay.
is the rescue mission. Then after the rescue mission, which is in Richmond, I go to Sprouts in Oakland. And
Okay.
then after Sprouts,
This is like around the world.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. After Sprouts, I go to Trader Joe's in San Francisco,
Okay, well that's nice. And then then you're there.
and then I go, yeah,
Okay, so you kind of like you're making this circle loop back into the city, back onto Ashbury, and what's the cross street? Where are we at? Ashbury and Page, right? So you're there. You're in front of one of the volunteers' homes, and you've got your delivery, and then volunteers are sort of mingling, hanging out. There's often coffee. That's great.
we got some young volunteers. We got two of them. One of them name is Joshua. He's a great kid. He kind of like leads everybody in the morning before I even get there.
Really?
He's there before everybody sometimes, and he's setting up everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
Shout out
there's
to
a lot
Joshua, man.
Yes, thank you, Joshua. I haven't met you yet, but that's really great because like I remember in the beginning, we're trying to figure things out, get the lay of the land, and so now you got a little leader.
Yeah, we got a few. Like everybody knows what they're doing. We got people that just come and just like it's self-sufficient now. It's not even
Right.
it's self-sufficient.
And that's amazing. Yeah, it's like clockwork. It's like how a wheel in the clock works. It's just like seems smooth.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
so that's
it runs
amazing.
itself.
So you have to set up bags. You got to set up. I mean, I remember the last time I went. You've got all these boxes of produce, and you line them up, take them up off a truck, line them up, and I was I was always like, you got to put the hard stuff on the bottom, and there's just like all these different little factors, right? And then there's cleaning up afterwards. There's a lot of cleaning up because you're dealing with food and packaging and whatnot. But the last time I was there, it seemed really well handled.
Yeah, even our cleanup now, we got it like to where it's like it's just rolling everything.
Yeah, that's
Definitely.
great. Okay, so you get there, we bag the food, and then the delivery process, how is that going? Are we having people sign up and
Yeah,
ready
the
to...
delivery's going good. It's going good. We're going to do a little bit of EDDM mailing.
what's that?
You get the Safeway flyers and stuff like that through the mail. We're going to do that with a third parent flyer in the community.
Oh,
just
that's
to get
great.
some more attention.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. And so
We're
now
also,
that...
we're also sorry about
No,
that.
no,
We're
go
also
ahead.
working with OEDWD, and they're helping us. Just kind of, they're incubating us with some programs. I mean,
And
with
there's an
some,
Office of Economic Workforce Development. Is that what
Yeah,
it is?
yeah.
Okay, so they're helping you out.
yeah, just
Okay.
to accelerate our nonprofit.
Right. Yeah. So what do you think, especially people who are interested in helping or whatever, and that might be listening, what do you feel like your organization needs at this point, at where it's at? Like, what would be helpful from the community or anyone?
Well, we're trying to, we're getting our board together all the way strong. We have a few candidates for our board. We need more admin help, volunteers. As far as admin, grant writing, proposals, with stuff like that.
Is organizing.
Donations.
Donations are really good.
Definitely for operations.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Because, as you grow in paying people and making it this thing that's, consistently moving, that's
Definitely.
good. Yeah.
Gloves, masks, hand
Physical
sanitizer
things.
stuff, gas, operations.
It costs a lot of money to start a nonprofit. And that's, I really do not understand how anybody does it. But like you said, it's a people pushed thing.
Definitely.
But there are still, people can only do so much. And so it's important to have a lot of that support.
Definitely. I mean, it's easy for me. What I'm doing.
Yeah, that's good.
Definitely.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, that's great. I want to keep talking. I'm just checking what time it is because I don't want to.
That's right.
So let's see. What else could we say? Any sort of partnerships that you have that are really helpful to you with other organizations or other places? Or what would you really like out of a partnership that maybe you don't have now? Either question.
I would say we highly appreciate True Clothing. They have.
Let's talk about that.
They have helped us a lot.
And where is that at?
We've helped each other.
For people who don't know.
That's on Haight Street, Haight and Masonic. We do a turkey drive every year. We've done a turkey drive for the last 2 or 3 years. And a Christmas drive as well. Yeah,
in partnership with them, right in front of the clothing store, and the there's a shoe store primarily, but and that's been really great. I mean, literally handing out these big turkeys, and there's been a toy drive, right? Too?
Yeah, we have toy drive every Christmas. We're trying to get backpack drives and things like that, so more partnerships in that. More partnerships in that. Yeah,
something like and stores that are willing to offer up their storefront or their merchandise for drives or for raffles. That seems to be going really well. And how did that come to be? Did you just walk by, or did you know someone there?
So just being a part of the community, them hearing about what I'm doing and seeing it and
wanting to help.
Yeah, we also have a partnership with Escape from New York Pizza.
Cool.
They've been providing us 4 pizzas for the last 4 large pizzas for the last I say 2-3 months.
What are those pizzas for? For volunteers?
For our volunteers, but our clients too. They come
that's great.
And get some too.
Awesome. So. And now that we're, things are stabilizing and you're getting more help, OEWD is helping you, volunteers have been helping you. Are there any new sort of programs or ideas outside of the food pantry that you're looking to do soon?
Yes, we're trying to go back to we're trying to grow the food pantry, but we're also want to start doing our original mission, which is empowering the community with job workforce programs.
Which is really important, right? I mean,
definitely.
If you're not able to secure a job, or if you don't have experience with a job, how are you going to live in San Francisco? And I think it's, I remember living here for a few years. It was hard to get work, even being college educated or whatever. So that seems really important. I'm glad that that's a focus coming back.
Education, definitely. Just going back to, because, food is important as well.
Yeah, basic need. Yeah.
Definitely. And then be able to connect other services.
Services for long-term growth, right? So the food meeting the basic need, which is great, right? You can't really look for work or think about getting a job if you are very hungry.
Definitely, that's true. That's very true.
So you're kind of connecting the dots for people, If you're being fed, then you can kind of think,
Exactly.
It can be very stressful when you don't have your basic needs. So that's amazing. And I really like that. And also, right, post-prison help. Is that something, too? I guess that ties into that directly.
Definitely. Just being the post-prison, a lot of that is, when people get out, they want to be able to connect with people that look like them, or people that, because it's a lot of resources out there, but they don't represent
right.
The fabric of the organizations don't represent.
Right, it'd be a little alienating.
So the client so much. So when they come in, they got to see people that's come from their background, and
right?
That looks like them, that understands, for them to tap into those services.
Yeah, and I have some experience with that too, and I think that's you know, like maybe in the future, third parent, you know, has people who've just gotten out of prison who are helping other people who've just gotten out,
Exactly.
and then
That's whatever we're doing. We want to make sure that program represents their clients.
yes, culturally relevant, and yeah, just not alienating, which I find to be an interesting thing to really think about and like put first, you know, put your people first like that. So that's great.
Definitely. And you show people that they can do it. You know, they can be on the other side.
Yeah,
know?
look at this.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's comforting. I think a lot of people, you know, might just feel a little nervousness. I was just talking to someone recently who had spent 25 years in prison, and it was, you know, there's just so much insight. I mean, he's telling me these things. Obviously, the people who haven't been in prison for that long taking for granted. And he was like, I had to set up an appointment with my niece so she can help me use my phone because I can't call certain people because this phone is a smartphone, and it's a lot to think about.
It could be frustrating, and to have somebody there that, okay, I can go to this program, and you know they can help us with that.
They've been through it.
Yeah, even
they're
though
on the other side of it.
Exactly. Even though it's not probably a formal program, but the people there, we would want
that's what matters.
Staff there to be able to, you know, stuff like that.
Help, and then
but that's
relate.
a need for sure. That's something for sure. Elderly people too.
Yeah, I mean, and the person I was talking to, very much older. And so then, I mean, how much harder is that?
Exactly.
Ridiculously difficult. So that seems very important. So I'm glad that that's where, you know, your guys' head's at, because, you know, very important stuff.
Definitely. Everything, you know, things you do are very important as well.
No, so. we're all trying to do this thing. You know, it's like this world of nonprofits and people that are trying to help out. You know, everyone's at different levels, like just starting out, or here we are at Beckett, you know, here at the BBC LP. That's been definitely a decade or so in. But I think it's nice we can all like learn from each other and pull from these different experiences and be like, here's what I know today, you know, and stuff like that.
That's what it's about.
So I think that's good. And I really like that about Third Parent, is just really like you guys are pulling from your experiences. It's like a lived experience thing. I've lived in San Francisco, you know, I have my, you're certified in public, or what is it? Social services?
Community health work.
Community health work.
Public health.
Yeah. So going with what you know and having great neighbors to help you along the way.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And do you have a headquarters?
We do. We're at St. Anthony's or St. Mark's on Franklin Street, and that's our headquarters.
Nice.
Definitely.
And how often, you know, do you have like volunteers going there to help you, or is it just like you and Whitney kind of?
Me and Whitney, kind of.
Yeah.
But we have some volunteers sometimes, maybe a meeting or two, but definitely. We're just focused on building up.
Yeah, building that internal structure.
Definitely.
And that's good.
Got a few case studies out there, a few SWOT analysis going on.
Okay.
A lot of behind the scenes stuff to just putting dotting all our I's and crossing all our T's.
Yeah.
You know?
It can be very tedious, you know. It's a lot of work, you know, starting something like this, and just all that kind of behind the scenes work. You know, I think a lot of us who volunteer or think about this kind of work don't realize it's really a lot. You know, you're putting in a lot of your own time, a lot of your own resources and money. You know.
But it's like I said, when you got 150 people that's coming and that you're helping with food, it's easy to do every week. And when you when you
have a lot of support.
On you, definitely. Yeah. But our clients too, you know, we really appreciate our clients, and you know, we show up. That's it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you do show up. It's very direct, you know. That's amazing. I hope that stays that way. I mean, it's really just like literally food to apartment, or food to house. And, I've done it like maybe 5 or 6 times, and you go right up to the door, and, that's great. I think people feel really comforted by that. It's not just like plopped off at the front desk of someone's unit,
Exactly. We put flowers, an affirmation.
Yeah. Tell us about, again, that name, third parent. What is that exactly?
So third parent is the community. We all have 2 parents, but, when you don't have them, or you need an extra, some of us need, our parents ain't doing so good. So we need our community. And
that is
the
a third parent.
The community, coming from a restorative background, the community, we are responsible for who comes out of our community.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if we have, we can't always say that people, how can I put it? We can't always say that, we gave up on society, or, we failed society. Sometimes society fails us, or our community fails us, by not having the resources, by not stepping in, by not having interventions in certain scenarios, and just letting people, seeing mental health issues and not, wrapping your arms around them, just letting them
be more, maybe afraid or turning the shoulder. Yeah, then that is quite typical.
Definitely. So, we have, as a community, we have to be responsible with who comes out of our community as well.
So that's where that comes from, that third parent, that extra support system, that, some communities do not have a lot of resources, or a lot of nonprofits, or a lot of groups, so this is great.
I like to say accountability.
Accountability,
definitely.
Yes.
Community being accountable.
Yeah.
What we're doing is being accountable for our community.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And an important thing to really think about, especially as we go into the future with, all of these things that are happening. Rates of people that are unhoused are pretty high, and I don't want to I don't know. I think it would be great if we more, look to helping more, and being less afraid to inquire and wonder about, how can I help these people, or what is like the root cause of this? And you had mentioned mental health. I work at a place where that is the number one most difficult service to get. Yeah. So is that a part of third parent that you're also trying to?
Definitely. We want to do, at some point, we want to have 360 case management. So
all around.
We want to be able to connect people to services, and not only, just go over here to this nonprofit or that nonprofit, but to be able to know somebody, to give you a soft handoff, to advocate for you, and to make sure you're getting what you need.
A little bit deeper.
Yeah.
Because it can be very confusing to just go place to place to place, and then
and
it's a little
intimidating sometimes.
You're being sort of tossed back around.
Shuffle. Go back to that place. They told me to go here. I got it. And they just never go. They never try again.
Yeah, you don't want to deal with that. It's intimidating.
That time where they want to change is important. That time where they ask for help is important. So you want to make sure they're connected and they're okay, because that might be the last time. They might not ask for help again. It might just...
Yeah, and that's a scary thing, because you really want people to feel comfortable, and then they could really take off. Or like you said, it could be the flip side, where it's like, well, this didn't work out, and they don't seek help for a while, and that's not right.
Yeah, because they get shuffled. You never know what they go through before they come see you. So when they come see you, they might have been shuffled back and forth or whatever. So you want to make sure they get a different experience, the better experience, and the right experience.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I'm glad that's a great thing to be focused on. especially, you know, like older people who've really like been through this for years, you know. I think having a service or a community or a group that's like, okay, well, we understand that this has been hard, and so we're going to take you seriously and be actually concerned for the outcomes that you want, and it's not just going to be a, you know, ding, 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 ding going around.
Exactly. Like elder people, they want to be seen. They're at an age now to where they're not being seen, and they're passed through a lot. So you know, just feeling a part of the community again, making sure they're not lonely. A lot of them are I could speak for some of my family members. Some of them are by themselves,
right?
And you know, when you go see them, they're happy, but you know, they haven't been able to connect them to community gardens or, you know, bingo or, you know,
community centers. Yeah,
they just need to be around people as well.
Yeah, that social isolation is a big issue, especially after COVID. Yeah. I work at a place called St. Mary's Center, and that they deal with a lot of that. So it's like, how do we get people feeling comfortable, you know, within the community to like go back out or, you know, whatever. But it's very hard and intimidating, especially when you're worried about getting sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's another good thing to focus on. Well, I just got the signal from Eric Whittington that we are, I think we're at our time here, but it has been really nice talking with you, Daveea, this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And if people want to know more about Third Parent, what's the best thing for them to do? Should they just come by?
Just come by. 443 Asbury, Page in Asbury every Saturday, 10:30 to 1 o'clock. Or visit our website, www.thirdparentfamily.com, or hit us on social media, Third Parent Family.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Denise, who normally runs SF Lives, and have a good day.
Yes. Yeah, have a good one.